Okay, so today I wanted to talk about the death of MaKayla Bryant. She goes by the name MK as well from her family and friends, but she passed away on January 26, 2022, so this is her story. So MaKayla was born August 3rd, 1999, and she is originally from Chicago. She eventually ended up at Florida's Agricultural and Mechanical University and obtained her Bachelor's of Criminal Justice in the fall of 2020. She had dreams of continuing her education to get a master's in community psychology. Along with her educational achievements, MaKayla was also the captain of the FAMU cheer team. And in spring of 2019, she was initiated into the Beta Alpha chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. On January 26, 2022, at around 5 p.m., MaKayla was unfortunately shot and injured outside of an apartment complex. A friend of hers rushed her to the hospital, where she was later pronounced deceased. Police, unfortunately, have no leads and are still investigating. Detectives are asking for witnesses to call Tallahassee Police Department at area code 850-891-4200. If you want to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers at area code 850-574-TIPS. A GoFundMe for MaKayla has already reached over 47,000 donations, so I'm sure the family is so grateful to the public for helping them out during their time of need. In this next clip, MaKayla's friend will describe how she will be remembered.
The Florida A&M community came together to remember the life of graduate student MaKayla Bryant today. The candlelight vigil brought out friends and family of the 22-year-old. FAMU says Bryant was the victim of a shooting at Providence Point Apartments last Wednesday. She graduated in fall of 2020 before returning to FAMU for her graduate degree. She was also the captain of the cheerleading squad. Her sorority sister says Bryant was loved by many.
To know MK, even for a day, an hour, a minute, was to have love for a lifetime. She was just a beacon of joy, of light, of happiness, a ray of sunshine, a breath of fresh air. Anybody who met her was like someone who liked her. She loved everyone, and it's just everyone in this room was from all different types of walk of life, and that everyone loved her. If you didn't like her, something was wrong with you.
TPD hasn't made an arrest in her murder.
May MaKayla Bryant rest in peace. So there has been an arrest made in the case of MaKayla Bryant. It is Precious Charlton and Khalil Ogilvy. On Wednesday, January 26, 2022, Precious drove to the Providence Point apartment complex to sell marijuana after picking up the victim, MaKayla Bryant, from work at the Governor Square Mall. Precious told police she and MaKayla were in a romantic relationship and had been for the last 2 years. This is MaKayla Bryant, and I will post the previous video I did on her as well. So Precious and MaKayla drove to 1242 Stuckley Ave and parked in front of the complex entrance around 4:40 p.m. After a short time, two men came to Precious's car for a drug deal. Precious showed one suspect a half-full bag of marijuana, and the suspect said it did not look like a quarter pound. During the transaction, she and MaKayla both had handguns in their laps that were visible to the suspect. Precious glanced down at her phone and then heard the suspect say, "This is how it's going to go," and heard a lot of commotion. When she looked over, she saw the suspect's arm in the window wrestling with MaKayla. Precious started to drive away and a handgun went off, and while driving away, MaKayla was struck in the stomach. She was taken to the hospital by Precious, where she later died. Now, when Precious spoke to police, she gave an account of what the suspects looked like. She said that the first suspect was a black man around 24 to 25 years old who had gold grills, short wicks in his hair. He had a black graphic t-shirt on, and the second suspect was a little bit younger. He looked like he was 18 to 19. He had a baby face, and he was wearing a gray jogging suit and a beanie. When police showed Precious a photo lineup after speaking to a witness, She could not identify the suspect in the lineup. Then the decision was made to release Precious at the time because she was the only witness who will be able to positively identify the suspects in the future. Police would then search the vehicle that Precious was driving, which belonged to MaKayla, and found under 2.5 pounds of marijuana inside. The car was seized for evidence, and police executed a search warrant on Precious's phone as well. Now, on Saturday, January 29, 2022, police again met with Precious and showed her a photo lineup. Precious was able to identify the suspect, who was with the shooter that she described to police as having a baby face and wearing a beanie. Now, Precious restated her accounts of that night and said that she had a bad feeling about the deal and felt like they were not going to buy the drugs from her anyway. Precious said that she originally thought that the suspect grabbed the gun off of MaKayla's lap and they were wrestling for it. At the hospital, Precious noticed a gun on the passenger floorboard that had a sticker on it, and that's when she realized that it was the suspect's firearm they were wrestling over, not MaKayla's. And since then, Precious has actually been arrested and charged with third-degree felony murder and drug possession with intent to sell. Now, in Florida, someone is charged with felony third-degree murder when a person unintentionally kills someone while attempting to commit a non-violent felony like a drug deal. So I guess because even though she didn't shoot the gun, she was there when it happened. And I guess if she wasn't trying to go out to sell drugs, it wouldn't have happened. This is why they are charging her with that. And who knows if it will stick. But that takes us to our next person, who was Khalil. So Khalil was the one who actually had the handgun and was attempting to rob them both of their drugs. So as he was grappling with MaKayla over the handgun, the gun went off, hitting her in the stomach, and it ended up killing her. Now, the other source I read, because this is WTXL, the other source I read said that when they were driving away, that's when the shot was fired. So I wonder if Precious was like attempting to get away, and like as she was starting to drive that, you know, Khalil shot the gun and that's how it injured MaKayla. But Khalil is being charged with first-degree felony murder. He is 26, by the way, and Precious is 24. So all this over weed. I mean, people have done less for less, but I mean, weed, really. I mean, it's crazy. And now this poor girl is caught up in the midst of everything, and she's the one deceased. There is a $50,000 bail for Precious. I didn't see if there was a bail for Khalil, which he doesn't need one, but currently they both are still in jail. So, you know, I don't knock anybody's hustle, but the street activity is very dangerous, and at the end of the day, it has ruined 3 lives over something that could have been avoided, you know. But like I said, I'm not here to knock anybody's hustle, but hopefully you guys just be safe out there. And MaKayla had a lot going for her, so, you know, it's a shame she got tied up in all this, but, you know, that's just life, and may she continue to rest in peace.